Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the third episode of the Bracken Buzz podcast. I'm still your host, Colin Jarrell, and today I'm sitting down with Samantha Wilson, the District Director for the Bracken County Community Schools Initiative. Welcome, Samantha.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So, today we will be discussing how community partners have and continue to make this initiative successful for students in the Bracken County School District, and how our community can be part of this work. Even if you are not associated with the Bracken County School District, this episode provides some pretty cool information and ways to make education more enriching for students. So, let's get into it. Samantha, since some people probably have no idea who you are or what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself and what Bracken County Community Schools is.
Sure, I'd love to. So, I am what some folks would call a transplant. I moved to Bracken County about 8 years ago. And even though I wasn't born and raised here, I fell in love with this place pretty quickly. And a fellow from a few counties over, and we have three children together. It didn't take long before I was invested, not just as a parent and a resident, but someone who truly wanted to help our community thrive. So, before I knew it, I'd picked up my career from Cincinnati, moved it to Bracken, and that's where I began my journey with the Bracken County School District. Originally, I started as a Frisk director, and later as your district director for community schools. And honestly, I feel like it's the best job in the entire world. Bracken County Community Schools isn't just a program um, or money to spend. It's definitely a movement. If you're not familiar with the Bracken County Community Schools model, it's basically this beautiful blend of education, partnership, and support that's brought to us by the Pritchard Committee. So Bracken County was one of 20 districts in Kentucky that was awarded $1.4 million dollars over a 5-year period. Um, and we believe that schools should be more than just where kids go from 8 to 3. They should be hubs for the whole community to be a part of. And that means bringing in services, resources, and opportunities right to where our families are here in our community. So, what does this look like in real life? Because that seems like a lot. It means health clinics on wheels pulling up in the parking lot. It means after school clubs like welding, cooking, art, and aviation. It means family learning nights where parents can sit side by side with teachers and leave with real tools to help their child succeed. It means bringing in great partners like Frisk and 4-H and the health department and so many more that we have here in Bracken County to create programs that aren't just about academics, but about wellness and joy and connection and growth. Um, my favorite part of all of this is it's designed with our families, not just for them, but they are a part of the designing process. We're constantly listening, whether that's through surveys, chats during lunchtime, my community meetings, to learn what families want and need to see their children succeed. And we build around that. We've got students painting murals for the first time ever in Brooksville, writing and producing their own songs and designing lanterns that are showcased at a large Cincinnati art show. I mean, these kids are doing amazing things, and we just want to make that space available to see it happen. Um, so yeah, I may be a transplant here in Bracken County, but I am deeply rooted now, and it's an honor to be a part of something that's not just changing how school looks, but how it feels for families, students, and our community here.
Absolutely. Those are some amazing opportunities for
Yes.
sure. Those lanterns that you made, was that for Blink, for
It
the
was,
Blink Festival? Okay.
yes. And truthfully, I was able to get students from all of our school buildings involved. And I believe we collected, it was over 350 lanterns
Wow.
our students created
That's
to showcase
amazing.
down there. Yeah, it was
Wow.
beautiful.
And I think like 2 million people came through there or something is what they projected
Yes,
to be.
we're putting Bracken County on the map.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. So you kind of got into it in the first question, but what got you into the role that you're in currently?
I did not grow up saying I wanted to be a district director for community schools. I didn't even know this job would ever exist. But looking back, I can see that every step along the way has prepared me for this. I have my bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and I have a master's degree in educational leadership and administration. I've spent 15 years dedicated prior to Bracken County in the early childhood world. And this took me places like Maryland and New York, Michigan, St. Louis. And each city gave me a new lens, a different community, a different culture, different challenges. But what stayed consistent everywhere I went was that families thrive when they're supported and schools thrive when they're connected to their communities. So when I moved to Bracken County, I wanted to take everything that I had learned across the country and pour it into my own backyard. I became a FRISC director, and that role was transformational. I wasn't just supporting young children anymore. I was serving whole families. I was helping families fill their pantries. I was making sure our elementary students had school supplies to kick off a good school year. And parents were feeling empowered and seen. It deepened my understanding of what education really is. And it's not just what happens in the classroom, it's what happens when a family has what they need to show up ready to learn and grow. So that mindset naturally led me to the community schools opportunity. Mr. Aulick had reached out to me about this opportunity and to see if it's something we could bring to Bracken County. And it aligned perfectly with everything I believed. And I am completely honored to be a part of that because, quite frankly, this is the heartbeat of our community. And when we treat them as such incredible things, when we treat them as if they are important and their feedback matters, we're going to see incredible things happen within our
Hmm.
community. And I said yes to this role because it gives me a chance to connect and collaborate and build something bigger than just one program. It's it's making an overall movement in the state of Kentucky, and I'm absolutely blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you had just completed the first round of focus areas for Taylor Elementary and Bracken County Middle School. Talk a little bit about those and how the community partnered with you to help students and make that successful.
Yes, we just wrapped up our first year of programming, and honestly, I'm just so proud of the work that's been done with our community, not just inside the school walls, but really just everywhere you turn. People were showing up and making things happen for our students. At Taylor Elementary, we focused on our school readiness and also bringing multifaceted enrichments into the schools. And we zoomed in on that idea to make sure that students had what they need outside of just that first day, but they were going to feel supported throughout the whole school year. Making sure they had the routines, the social emotional development, and helping the families feel confident in supporting their own students. But we also focused on giving students those enriching learning experiences. And that went beyond the classroom through our after school clubs, which were a major hit. We were able to offer Legos and cooking and art club, aviation, entrepreneurship, welding. It was amazing to see how many people wanted to be a part of this. They just needed to know where to start.
Hmm.
And it was a beautiful transformation to just see everyone, whether it was a staff member stepping in and being a part of this, whether it was some of our older high school students serving as mentors. It wasn't just fulfilling for the students participating in these clubs, but for the individuals who volunteered their time to be a part of it.
Hmm.
At the middle school, we focused on holistic development and then fostering those family bonds. And we saw an amazing turnout for our family engagement events. We partnered with our family engagement team, and that committee provided two events that truthfully had leading attendees when it comes to any historical family events. We were bringing in up to 100 different family members
Wow.
to share in these moments. And we were able to also introduce the clubs there that were a lot of fun and focused on building self esteem, patience, and purpose. So we just worked really hard to connect families and their child's journey together and providing that transitional opportunity and support. Um, but really, all these initiatives were designed just to invite conversation and connected and connection, and that's exactly what they did. So, over the course of the year, we did enhance, design, and implement over 15 different strategies across both school buildings. Um, I didn't do it alone. One thing I've always praised is it's never just one person's decision, it's bringing everyone around the table. And one thing that Bracken County has always been strong in is bringing in partnerships. So we
Hmm.
had a sturdy foundation from day one. We were very fortunate. Um, but we were able to bring in 25 brand new partnerships from local organizations, small businesses, passionate community members who have never stepped foot in our school buildings before. And they did this year. And that wasn't just surface level connections, those were deep rooted connections that I spent like over 1,500 hours
Mm,
just having intentional conversations and seeing where they fit perfectly in our students'
mhm.
success. And um, it was amazing. The time investment paid off in a big way. When our families and our teachers and our community partners feel seen and heard, they're going to lean in.
Mhm.
And they definitely leaned in this year. They feel supported, they feel surrounded, they feel seen. These students, they mattered in the eyes of our community. And that's the magic of Community Schools Initiative. It's not about a one size fits all program, it's developed to uniquely meet what Bracken County is all about, and it's customizing solutions with the people who know our community best at the table.
Absolutely. So you talked about the first round of focus areas. What are the focus areas for this school year for each school, and how are you gearing up to partner with the community to make those successful?
Well, buckle up because if you thought this year was incredible, I have great momentum that we're moving in on. And I'm very excited to share what's coming up for both Taylor Elementary and Bracken County Middle School. We just recently hosted our community meeting celebration, and that's where I was able to share our new action plan for the first time and just celebrate the great success we've had this past year, but also share with them what we have planned coming up for the 25-26 school year. So, just to kind of give you a little highlight of some of the fun things that we have planned at Taylor, we are focusing on engagement and enrichment, and we're going all in on it. We've got a full lineup of ongoing family engagement events, and that we will be making sure our families feel connected with what's happening inside our schools to help our students thrive. One of the highlights I'm very excited about is launching our learning walks. So, this is really lowering that bridge of family engagement and creating intentional opportunities for families and community members to experience the magic happening in our classroom.
Mm,
We want to open those doors and show them what our amazing teachers are doing with our incredible students and the learning opportunities that they're providing behind these classroom doors. So it's not a showcase, it's not a slideshow, it's real learning in real time. And it's about opening the doors and letting people witness the greatness in action. So I'm very excited about that.
yeah.
We're also bringing back our student interest clubs at Taylor. They were an incredible hit, and we're designing them so we can get more people involved in them. Um, we had a great turnout. We wanted more kids. More kids wanted to be involved than what we could house. So we're going to make that happen this year. And we're also going to be expanding our Sunshine Effect program with more creative and hands-on opportunities for our students. Brag tags will be back, which were a huge hit at
Mm,
Taylor Elementary. And I've told our kids we're going to have bigger and better prizes, and they're excited. We were able to recognize our students this week about their incredible attendance journey and just seeing the amazing shift we've had in chronic absenteeism throughout the district.
So tell us a little bit just about what those brag tags are.
So the brag tags are basically this attendance in this initiative where every month I would analyze the data and see what students missed one day or less. If they missed one day or less, Miss Samantha came in and recognized you by giving you a themed brag tag. It went with the month. And then you got to come up and spin my wheel or drop the Plinko chip, like good old Price is Right style, and get a prize.
Mm,
And I would come in every month. But what was so amazing about this were students who unintentionally fall through the cracks were being recognized for just showing up and being there. And those kids were feeling seen and important and realizing that that made a huge difference.
mhm.
And um, they loved it. I became like the brag tag queen. I
Yeah.
feel like that's like what my reputation became. I'd walk in and they'd say, "When's the next brag tag?" And I loved that they were so excited to get those. And that even extended up to our middle school.
Mm,
And the recognition is what mattered to them. And the prizes, yes, those were just an extra little kick. But what really genuinely mattered was being noticed that they were in attendance and they were there and that they mattered.
mhm.
And that was just so fulfilling for me. So I'm excited to bring that back. I mean, we saw amazing improvements, Colin. At our middle school level, we went from like 105 chronic absenteeisms, and we dropped that down to 42
That's
chronic.
amazing.
I mean, we dropped
Yes.
it in half, and I'm not saying that is all on behalf of our initiative. It is because of the great partnerships that
Hmm.
we formed to make attendance a priority here in Bracken County, and we're going to continue to move on that momentum next year, so I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
At Bracken County Middle School, the areas of focus there, we are going to be focusing on our family engagement and life skills. We want to make sure that our students are prepared for when they're leaving our Bracken County schools, and we're doing that through community lunch and learns. We're going to bring in partners to teach them anywhere from changing a flat tire, doing a load of laundry, balancing your bank account to help prepare them for their future. But I'm also very excited about rolling out our Unified All Stars initiative, and that is going to focus in on inclusion and just sharing in the uniqueness of all of our students. And it's really going to focus on those leadership skills and peer mentoring. We saw how successful that was last year, and we want to increase that within our schools. And I really feel that that fuels our students. So we are going to be bringing those opportunities to buddy up with one another and create success within our classrooms and within our school and cheer each other on along the way. So I'm very excited about that as well.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see what happens with those. So, how can the community become or continue to be involved with these different initiatives that you're doing?
I love this question because the heartbeat of the community school initiative is the community. This work doesn't happen in isolation. It grows stronger every time a neighbor shows up, a business says, "Count me in," or a grandparent volunteers to read to the class. And the best part is there are so many ways to get involved, big and small. I want to encourage first and foremost to come out to our community school meetings. That is where we are opening these up to everyone, whether you're a parent, a guardian, a business owner, or just someone who truly just cares about the success of our students. Come in and listen to our updates, and we want to gather ideas and make collaborative decisions together. It's not just a presentation, it's opening up a conversation with one another. And I want everyone to know that your voice matters. And these gatherings help guide us in the direction that we're going. All these great plans we have, the reading hammocks that we're going to have installed at Taylor Elementary, the focus on literacy within our schools, those were all decisions that came from these stakeholders within our community. They've recognized that these steps matter for our students' success, and we're just making the space to make it happen
Hmm.
and pulling in the community members who want to see this through. So that is a great start. You can also get involved just by reaching out to me. Like I mentioned, a lot of people just don't know where to start. In any way that you volunteer your time or become a part of this initiative is greatly appreciated. And you may have an idea, you may have a skill or a connection that you want to bring in to support some of our initiatives. So whether it's volunteering your time or co-hosting, an event, offering a mentorship, there are places for every single person in this initiative. So I encourage you to do that. But I have a Facebook page. It's Community School, Bracken County Community Schools. I post everything on there.
Yes.
I
You have
like to,
so much going on,
yes,
though.
it keeps me
Yes.
busy, but I want to keep everyone well connected and just see the greatness of this initiative
Hmm.
and how it's rolling out. And so please follow us on there. It's going to just give you an inside look of all the greatness that we're doing and how we're advocating for this initiative and how we're advocating for our students and our families. And pop into my office. I'm located behind the high school in the Frisk office. Just come in, have a conversation with me, and let's see what magic we can make happen. We're moving in a amazing direction, Colin. We've been identified as one of the most exemplar districts in this
Yes.
initiative.
That deserves some
Thank
applause.
you. So out of the 20 districts that have rolled this out in Kentucky, we have been identified as ones making a big movement. We're making ripple effects across the groundswell. And that's something not just for me to be proud of. Every student should be so proud of the success that they've seen. Every parent, every community member that made the time to pick up the phone and listen to me and,
Hmm.
and just the buy-in from this community has been beautiful in itself, and we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be getting this coverage if it weren't for every single person involved in it. So, at the end of the day, this initiative works because of people in Bracken County. So whether you've been involved since day one or you're just now hearing about this today, there is a place for you in this work, and I encourage you to jump on board and be a part of this because we're making history here.
You drive a hard bargain. I don't
Thanks.
know how anybody could turn you down to be a part of this. So, last but certainly not least, is there anything else that you want people to know about you or your initiative?
Most definitely. So, one thing that I really want people to walk away with is Bracken County was chosen to lead the way in Kentucky. This initiative wasn't just dropped in our laps by accident. It was awarded to us with a purpose. So, Pritchard Committee saw that there are special things happening here in Bracken County. They saw a community that could serve as the proof point of what's possible when schools and communities work hand in hand to support our students and our kids. Um, we're guinea pigs in the best way, but we're writing the playbook for how community schools can look, feel, and succeed in a rural county. And that means we are truly making history in Bracken County. Here's the catch, though. This isn't a permanent funding. And while we were awarded an incredible 1.4 million amount over 5 years, it's distributed year by year based on our progress and the impact and the sustainability. So the goal isn't just to accept the support for the meantime, it's to prove that partnership is the key to long-term success. And we want to make sure that we reach the end of this grant and have our entire community say, this is working in Bracken County and we want to keep this going far long after the 5 years is up. Because while the funding may not last forever, the impact can. And the relationships we're building, the confidence that our students are gaining, these bridges that we're forming between families and community and schools, those are the things that can't be undone. But it does take all of us. It takes the partnerships of every one of us. So this is not about one person carrying the entire load. The intention has always been for the community to own this, for it to be ours together. And I really hope that our community sees the results and they see the joy on our students' faces and the progress that's being made, that they see all the work and the passion behind what we're doing here. And I hope that I have the opportunity to keep this going and to be able to continue and serve my passion. I feel that I was placed in this role for a purpose, and I want to serve Bracken County for many more years to come. So at the end of the day, this is about our students, our families, and our future. And we all have a role in making this possible and making this happen. So pick up the phone, shoot me an email, stop by. I want you to be a part of this success. I want you to be a part of this history because Bracken County is making it happen for community schools. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Samantha. Thank you again for joining me for this episode and sharing more about you and what Bracken County Community Schools is doing. I've been trying to keep up with all of the stuff that you're doing, and you have a lot going on.
I do.
So, yes, everyone, keep an eye on that Facebook page that has literally anything and everything that you can think of. I hope this was informative and helpful to community members listening, and maybe you, Samantha, will see them hopping in to help with your initiatives in the future.
I would love it.
Fingers crossed. So for now, this wraps up the third episode of the Bracken Buzz podcast. Make sure to take care of yourself and each other. Have a good one.